This week on the Minding Your Business podcast, we master the art of voiceovers using AI.
Welcome to the Minding Your Business podcast. I'm CJ Jolliffe with everybody's favorite co-host,
Aaron Gerald. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate, again, the warm introduction. And it's apt, too. It's very, very apt. It is. I'm everyone's favorite, or at least my own favorite. All right. So today, I think, gosh sakes, there's so much happening in the world of AI that we kind of can't not talk about it. I know I'm using it a lot, but one thing came up for me this week, and it's like, how much is too much? And when does the learning curve for what it takes to prompt it, when does that become too heavy to where it's like, oh my gosh, just do it for real?
Yeah.
And I know especially for the videos that I'm making, they're reality videos. Like not reality, it's fictional, but it's fictional set in reality. Like I'm not creating castles and dragons, right? It's somebody sitting on a sofa. Realistically, it's so easy. I could just have somebody, hey, sit here and say this, please. So it would be at least as easy, probably less frustrating than it is for me to make it 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 times and then having it in the wrong format or trying to figure out which part of that little 8-second thing I could clip into the 4 seconds that I need. And I know that the technology exists for puppeting. I just can't seem to figure it out.
Well, it's interesting you're bringing up puppeting because, yeah, I mean, this is something I've been working on this week. I know what you're saying, right? Because like you're no stranger to having, to putting text in and getting speech out, right? So whether it's using HeyGen or whatever, being able to put in some text and then have a AI voice read it for you, like it's handy.
Sure.
But it can be super stale, and it's
it doesn't sound realistic because there isn't enough mistakes.
Or if you're getting like really picky like me, you want it to be a certain way, and instead of just being like a normal read through, you want the Aaron Gerald's pauses and certain inflections here versus there, and so But for voiceovers, this is kind of like puppeting, right? For voiceovers, what I have discovered this week, and this is new to me, not new necessarily, but it's ElevenLabs. You can upload your own read, your own voiceover, and then choose one of their different voices, and it matches the way you read it. So I'm going to actually show you examples, and then we will, be able to like see. I mean, this is, I think, incredibly useful. Let me just hop into this, and then I'll kind of tell you how I'm using it. So go over here. So this basically, we're on ElevenLabs website right now. This is just the text to speech model, and I've put in some text, and we're going to listen to it. This is how it reads it.
This week on the Minding Your Business podcast, we master the art of voiceovers using AI.
Okay, so I really dislike the way it ended. It almost sounded like a question mark.
I was like, I didn't like how she went up on AI.
Yeah. So you can change the speed, like stability, similarity. We can like change all these things. Here, let me go with style exaggeration. I'm going to crank it up to like 50%. It isn't like really going over that. Now I'll regenerate that.
Now, while that's happening
on the Minding Your Business podcast, we master the art of voiceovers using AI.
Yeah, she's still going up at the end. Question: is this the paid version, or is there a free version?
This is a free account. You get so many credits, and I've burned through about half of them. This week, but I've been doing it's a lot of like 15-second clips. So that's a good example. I mean, here I'll just do similarity low. Let's just see what this sounds like.
This week on the Minding Your Business podcast, we master the art of voiceovers using AI.
I still don't like it. So
that's better, but still not.
Yeah.
There was
you have very little
setup
control.
part in the middle that I didn't care for. So
And
yeah.
you can go in and you can put in brackets, you can say like, emphasis or like authoritative, or like you can try different
Okay.
things and it'll read it different ways. But at the end of the day, that's where you get into the whole like the prompting taking more time, right?
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
spent a good 30 minutes try to prompt a certain read that I had
Okay.
to go how I wanted. It was a 16-second clip, and it
Okay.
was literally like trying different things, and because like the way it ended, there's a call to action at the end, and I wanted it to be read a certain way.
Right.
I just couldn't get it to do it. So I realized I could go over to Voice Changer. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into the Voice Changer model, and then
Okay.
I'm going to upload something I've already recorded.
Okay.
There we go. Upload. So this is me reading it in a ridiculous way. I want to just say, this is not how I want it read, but I'm doing this for emphasis. All right.
Yeah.
So here we go. This week on the Minding Your Business podcast, we master the art of voiceovers using AI. Okay.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
So that's really
Yeah.
that's radio voice.
Yeah. It's
in
like
here.
Sunday,
Okay.
Sunday,
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
but again, that's how I wanted to push the limits to see what I could get it to do. So
Okay.
I'm going to use that same voice,
Okay.
different model, same voice, and I'm just going to generate speech.
This week on Aligning Your Business podcast, we master the art of voiceovers using AI.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, but not bad. Like it was pretty much right what you did. Like
It did
exactly
what I wanted it to do. So again, it's that puppeting thing. Rather than once I figured that, I just went through, I think 5, 6 different voiceovers, very, very quickly, because I didn't even have to record them and upload a file. You can go, and I don't know if this is going
just
to work.
mic it in and then just
Here,
record it right on.
let's just try a new thing. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to enable microphone here. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use my AirPods so I don't mess up the mic that I'm recording. Okay. No, I want my AirPods. Sorry. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to record something live.
Okay.
I have no idea what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Sibilance. That was ridiculous, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Play it back. 2, 3. Testing. Sibilance. Okay. Ridiculous.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, but let's choose Brittany again. So this is that same voice. It's not going to be as high quality of a read, I don't think, because it's through my AirPods instead of my microphone. But we'll see.
Free testing. Testing. Sibilance.
So a little bit of weirdness there in the way she was pronouncing things. But let's change the voice. Let's try, I don't know, Charlie.
For testing. Tapping. Sibilance.
I mean,
now I know
ridiculous.
you said they did some weird things, but actually that's what was happening. Like you were hot on the mic. It was popping.
Yeah,
it was doing all of the same thing.
It turned my testing into testing because it distorted. I know it. Yeah, and again, I wouldn't normally do that. I'm just like making a caricature, basically, of what I would normally do. So go back over here, but basically, how we're using this. So I had a client we're doing some ads for, and basically we needed a female voice. Now in the past, I would have reached out to either someone I knew that does voiceovers, or I would go to oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of the service that I used, Voiceover Rabbit or something like that.
Okay.
Voice Bunny, that's what it was. I got there. And, you're looking at probably a 24-hour turnaround. And then you can make changes and, costs a few bucks. It's not expensive at all. But only a 15-second read times, 4. We had 2 locations and an A/B split test on both. So
Okay.
basically about a minute worth of voiceover, but it still takes time. The voice actor has to do it, have to read it, to send it back to us.
Right.
I did this just that fast. Once I figured out how to do it, once I figured out I could record my own voice and then have it replace my voice. So here's the beauty, and this is why I'm so excited about that. Not just that I could get it done quickly and send it to the client and get choose different female voices, but the client had changes after I was already done, which is not ideal.
Right.
Right. They had, what if we tried this? And I have this moment of this, a sigh, but I was like, you know what? Yes. Okay. And I was able to hop back in there, just re-record live that voiceover with the change.
Okay.
And update the footage, pump back out, export the things, the edited videos in less than 10 minutes and send it back to them for approval. That is amazing, because normally that would have been at least this was late in the day too. This was 5:30 at night, my time. And so it would have definitely been the next morning before would have had a chance to give them anything. So I just think it's super exciting. This is the kind of stuff where I go, is AI going to replace voice actors? No.
Okay.
I think it's still this is going from having a screwdriver and knowing how to use it to having a power drill. It just makes the work faster and a better product. But again, going back to puppeting, full circle here, right?
Sure.
By me being able to upload what I want it to do with the inflections and the pauses that I want, and it model after that, that's what makes it so attractive to me. A lot more than just the stale read, right?
Yes.
So you have a tool that you've been trying to figure out that is puppeting. Now explain to us what Runway is, what you want to do with it, and then what challenges you're having.
Oh man, I don't know that I know enough to do all of that. Because
what's it supposed to be able to do?
So I I don't think that there's enough education, or maybe there is, and I just haven't found it yet. So here's the thing. I feel like Runway ML, which seems to be an amazing tool for those who know how to use it. It's kind of like a scalpel, but in the wrong hands, you're just hacking stuff up, right? You're not doing precision cuts. So I feel like I'm probably too new or too inexperienced in the realm of how to prompt, that I end up wasting a lot of the credits.
Okay. But you're supposed to be able to upload a video of you.
Yes.
Doing a certain thing with movements.
Yes. It's supposed to be that.
And then you say, expressions, and then it replaces you with
this is the video. This is the voice that we're going to use. Use the same voice, use it all. And then you can go to from the videos and stuff that I've seen and the whatever, they're like, oh no. You take your voice, you do the video, and then you go into ElevenLabs, and then you can replace your voice with whatever you want, but it's got the same timing, the same beat, the same everything.
Yeah.
But then the video itself will use your uploaded video as the framework for the other video. So whatever you're doing, all of your mannerisms, your facial expressions, all of your stuff, it tracks, maps it, and then puts it onto the character that you've chosen or created, and you put in there, and it does it.
Okay.
However, every time I've done that, it always says, there's an error in your the way you're doing it. Sorry, it's us, not you. I'm like, okay, well, let's try that again. And so I redo a whole thing and I upload and do it all again. And it's like, again, there was an error. And so I can't figure out what the error is. And then when I ask it, like, well, then I'll go to the AI thing. What's the error? And it's like, here, read these. And so then it basically sends me to some things where it's like, you're able to just upload these videos and do this just like this. Get started now. And I go back and it's like, okay, then I upload all the video. I do the stuff. I do everything it says to do. And it's like, there was an error. So I don't know if it actually works because it doesn't work for me, or if it just doesn't work at all. Like, or as if it's just not working for me.
Sure.
So that has been fairly frustrating. 2, it'll say like, oh, what you can do is you can add like your character reference, your scene reference, and then, and I don't remember what it's called. I suppose I could look it up real quick, but then the third one is like the action. And so you do this action thing and then it takes those, puts it all together. And so I've seen people take and they'll drag shoe boxes and then they'll be like this car and then this scene. And then it puts like this futuristic car doing the screech around thing. And it like the same as the box. And so it uses those. And I'm like, all right, that's what I want. So then I tried that because they're all different models that you use to do different things.
Right.
Basically only been able to get one model to work one way.
Okay.
And it is when I don't write the prompt. So I use their AI to basically talk to me and figure out what I want. And then it does it. And then I'm like, no, what I really meant was more like this. And it's like, and then it'll do it. And then it's like, well, like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's closer. Do that, but extend that now from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. It's like, you don't get that. You can just get the 5 second. Like, I still can't get what I'm looking for.
Sure.
Exactly. But maybe
you think it's because the tier you're on?
Expectations are just too high, or I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, because I watched the other video and I watch other people that are like, man, that's so easy. You just do it and you prompt it. Make sure you prompt it correctly. And then you do it. And I'm like, how do you prompt it correctly? And they're like, for information on that, click my course below. And I'm like, I'm not taking your course. You don't work for Runway. Like, no, why can't they tell us how to do it? And then I've read their best practices. What you do is you camera angle, then the thing, then you tell it all of those things. And I'm like, okay, that's what I'll do. And I break it down. I spend all the time doing it. And then I end up with something that is not even close. So I don't know what I'm doing. But also, like, I don't want to invest hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to learn it. Right. So I'm like, I need to shortcut that. So then it's like, okay, how do I shortcut it? Well, I've got to learn it from somebody that knows what they're doing. Okay, but they're charging such a high price that it's like, it really is worth it probably to spend the 200 hours doing it myself, because I'm not going to shortcut it for a 800 or 1,000% upcharge on the 200 hours it would take me to do it. Like,
right.
That's silly. Like, no, thank you. Plus I have to think, we're 2 months away from everything changing anyway. Like,
I mean, that's the challenge.
Everything keeps getting easier and easier and easier. I can tell you just with what I'm using as far as Gemini goes, just with that, like, they're every single week. I've been doing my show now, the Being Bernard show, for 4 weeks, 5 approximately. But I've got four videos out because it takes me a week to do it anyway, because of that. So I've got my 4 videos out. Video 1 was so hard to do and to get anything to even come close to doing what I wanted it to do. I'm 4 weeks in and everything's changed and become so much easier now that I'm like, I'm at a higher res. I'm getting much more accurate stuff. Like, everything is working better. So it's like, man, by the time I learn it, it will have changed and none of that learning will have mattered yet. I've taken several like AI prompting courses and different things on LinkedIn Learning and other stuff, and it's all outdated.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
you started using AI before I did. And just in the last, I think maybe 6 months, I don't want to say prompting has become less important. That's not it. It hasn't become less.
It has become easier.
It's been
less
much more approachable. Yeah. I mean, my hack for everything when we're talking about like language models, right,
Yes.
is ask me questions if it will improve your response. And that one thing has made everything so much better.
Yeah.
It's gotten really, really, and then, like you said, we're 2 months away from it being, very different. I was reading, I think it was about Chat GPT 5 versus 4 versus 6. And they were
Okay.
saying just in the last week, like, because I'm using GPT 5 for most things now, but they were saying
Okay.
6 is coming soon. And the wait between 4 to 5 is a lot longer than what the wait between 5 and 6 will be.
Okay.
So for
Okay.
whatever, but again, that goes back to what you were saying. Like we're 2 months away from everything being different.
Yeah.
And if you just look and see how much things have changed in the last 6 months, that change has been bigger than the previous 2 years, really.
Yes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I think especially when we get into like the generative models, like the like video and photo models, like and how they're doing things. First of all,
Uh,
Runway LM is from the outside looking in, looks amazing.
yeah.
I am actually like maybe the next week I'll play around with it and see what I can do just to see if I can experience the same problems you're experiencing.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and then but again, I don't want to invest a bunch of hours into something and it not work, you know.
Right.
Also don't want to invest a bunch of hours into something I'm not going to use. But I already have a few ideas of how I might use it. And again, it comes down to generating content for clients. So,
Yeah.
anywho,
Yep.
so how are things? I know you're working on episode 5 now of Being Bernard, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How
I've got
how is
I've got
that journey
5.
for you? Not necessarily like statistics and analytics and stuff, but like knowing your desire to pivot. How are you feeling?
I don't know. You know what? I'm excited and also discouraged. I can tell you, my God, I put so much effort. I okay, so me trying to keep control of my brain is very hard.
Right.
Um, I wrestle with myself constantly, and I will come to decisions, and I'm like, this is a solid decision. I'm gonna stick with it. And like a half hour later, I'm like, well,
Hmm.
so that's been the worst part. Like, I'm like, I don't care. I'm just going to be me. I'm going to lean into my sense of humor. I
Yeah.
am going to, if I think it's funny, I'm going to put it. And audience be damned. Like, if
Yeah.
you don't think it's funny, click off. If you
Yeah.
think it's funny, subscribe. And then I upload my video. And I am so excited because I think it's so funny. I am putting my funny out to the world. And I'm
Right.
like, all right, world, laugh or be mad or be, and
Right.
nobody sees it. And I'm like, okay. Honestly, if you saw it, you'd either like it and you'd comment and tell me that you liked it and be like, dude, man, I got to watch your stuff every week. Here's an idea. Here's a what about this? What about that? Or
Yeah.
you'll go, shut up, bro. You think you're something and you're not. Okay, cool. I would appreciate both of those. Honestly, if I had 1,000 people, every single video I put out was just like, shut your mouth. You're not funny. Oh my God. I would like that so much more than crickets.
Right. Right. I
And
mean,
so,
I understand. Like it is tough. Like and so this is coming from I watch probably not as much YouTube as you do. But if I'm not like watching TV with my like family,
right,
then I don't watch TV. I'm gonna watch YouTube, and
right.
it's gonna be dumb things about building guitars or turning wood or conspiracy theories. Just I want something typically in that like 12-minute range.
Okay.
And when videos are like over 20 minutes long, they might
Yeah.
as well be an hour long, right? Because it's not. It's when I'm eating. I just want
Okay.
something that I can watch quickly. Anyway, so I watch a lot of YouTube, and I I even watched a video the other day he was doing like a 7 layers of metal, and it was there was a band that he did not list, and I was offended because this is like one of the best albums, and he didn't even list the band, and I was like,
Okay.
I need to. I feel like there's injustice here. Like we need to, the world needs to know about this album. And I was like, I said out loud, I need to comment on that. I haven't, because I don't, how could I? I don't watch YouTube on my computer or on my phone. I watch it on my TV. So for me to comment, I have to.
You would have to log in and do it completely different.
Exactly. So, and I understand that I am in the minority there. However, I saw some statistics, and I'm not going to say what they are because it would be wrong, but watching YouTube on television, on a TV, is a growing trend.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All of that to say is I like your stuff, and I will give it a thumbs up. And let me just say that is rare. I am very stingy with my likes. Or my loves, depending on the platform. So I like your stuff.
Okay.
But I've never thought once to comment.
I noticed.
And it's not anything to do with you. It's just who I am as a viewer.
Yeah.
And again, maybe I'm the odd man out here. I don't know.
No, nobody comments. But what's crazy is you have to create something so emotional, it's so emotion gripping, so controversial, so in your face that people go, I can't not say something.
I mean, that's literally how I felt about that.
I don't want to produce that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not out here fishing for comments. I say that, and then I'm like, please comment on my stuff. But it's not because I'm gonna go, you know what, I know what it'll take to get you to comment, and I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. I want to just say what's funny. I just want the people who are going to enjoy my sense of humor and go, I see what you're doing there. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want to do that. I don't want them to go, oh, you know what? That makes me mad. Or that makes me something. Like, yeah, could I do that? Sure. Could I get 1,000 comments? Sure. Could I blow up and go viral? Sure.
Yeah.
For the wrong reason.
Yeah, well, that's the risk you take when you put anything out on the internet. So this goes back 2010, maybe. So maybe like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
A YouTube channel that I started and managed for a company. The only comments back then, the only comments you ever really got were trolls.
Yeah.
And it's funny because back then it's like the temptation was just to turn comments off. But now it's so different. I don't know, man. What I can say is that
it's a signal that, oh, this is an important thing. And it's like, God, important isn't always right.
I just feel like a lot of it is social engineering. Like if
it
it's not
absolutely that. And
if it's not in my like demeanor or my personality to comment on this video, then why should I be forced to or prompted to? I don't know. I understand why you like a creator would want it because it helps with getting views and engagement and all that stuff. So I get that. I will say there was another video I watched. I think it was yesterday. It was a I can't remember the guys that did it, but it was the main guy on the channel had 4 or 5 other guys on, and they're all guys that do like covers of songs, but it's like Mary Had a Little Lamb in the style of System of a Down.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So but the challenge was Christina Aguilera, Genie in a Bottle. That was the song they had to do in the style of Metallica. And so 5 different guys did it, and they were all so incredibly different. And then they had a guy come on that was a judge. He was non-partial, and he couldn't pick a winner because, and I had my favorite for sure.
Right.
There was, I was
because they were all so good. Right.
And so basically it was like, comment in like, who was your favorite, put in the comments. And actually I was tempted.
to
that
do it
that actually, and it wasn't out
because
of
it was a legitimate thing.
it was,
It
and that
wasn't
so
just
that
a, hey,
one,
give me a comment kind of a thing. It
and it
was
didn't feel like comment farming, you know.
right.
Um,
Yes.
like they all were really, really good, and it should be up to the the community to vote and that kind of thing. So,
Yes.
but it was
Oh
super
man.
interesting. Has nothing to do with anything. They were
No.
all did almost like different eras of Metallica, and
Okay.
so that's one of the reasons that made it hard to pick a winner, because they were all really good in their own right. So anyway,
Now, with that, let me just say
Mhm.
that, and I'm gonna do, this is, what do they call that? When you promote self or
Shameless self promotion.
shameless self promotion, and not so much self, but it's still self promotion. Um, there's an upcoming episode of Deep Dive with Tim and Tina, and we need to touch on that again anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's an upcoming one coming up, and it's called Side Guys. I think Sidemen.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, I didn't know who they were or what they did. The episode is enlightening,
Okay.
but basically it's about creators deciding to use the algorithm because once they figured it out, they go, let's do this to become an empire. And
Okay.
they created media empire, and actually several, by doing it and then using the rules and then dominating and using the rules. I don't want to say against the thing, but let's just go with, let's say, YouTube.
Yeah.
They had enough creators where they realized we're all in this together. We're all doing similar things. But you know what? If we all band together and in the first hour did the thing where it's like, boy, if it was shared and free, so you've seen that a lot of these things on TikTok where they're like, do from bottom up, do all the stuff. Well, they have a group of people that do that. And then they would tell their audience, hey guys, listen, here's what we're trying to do. And they could get a brand new creator to like be mega immediate overnight.
Yeah.
And be monetized and making tons of money. And then they go, you know what, this works. Like, what if we start doing this in the food industry? What if we start doing this? And they just started creating empires in multiple arenas so that each one of those creators was now making gobs of money and basically leveraging power using their audience in a way that at the time was very different, which now makes complete sense. But at the same time, I'm like, oh my God, the things I would do to become a part of that empire and just step in and be there. And then it's like, but you're gaming the system. So, but at the same time, like the people that game the system are rewarded and those that don't are punished. So,
well, and here's the thing, the algorithm changes on YouTube or Google or whatever else, right? Like if you're talking out in the business world, I know someone that took advantage of legislation.
It only works for a season.
That's what I was going to say. Like, so I know someone that took advantage of legislation and gamed the system and did very, very well until the legislation changed. They tried to create a law, and it was his last name law, just to shut him down. And he was working 100% within the legal limit of the law. And I just I think I look at that stuff and I think it's awesome. Now, he was really smart, and he was basically like, this is only going to work for a season. So I'm going to work on something over here. This is the slow burn. This is the like slow and steady growth. And this is the explosive growth. And we're just going to take advantage of like this. This is the lottery.
We'll let it explode, grow as much as it can, harvest, and then plant over here, knowing, because it's, this isn't going to last forever. Yeah. That is smart.
But that being said, like, I mean, we have attempted, we didn't do a good job, but that's kind of what we wanted to do with the Minding Your Business Facebook group, right?
Yes.
To bring in people that support each other, right? Not just in a like, hey, I have questions. What do you guys think of this? I'd like to use this. Has anyone heard of this
Uh-huh.
service? Whatever. But also in the like creator sense, if there's anyone that's creating, we help raise them up because
I
those
honestly,
first interactions mean so much across a lot of
yes,
the
and
platforms.
it's so crazy because even at 6 people would be a huge indicator as long as it happened in the first hour, like the first 10, 15 minutes. When
Yeah.
you post something, then automatically 6 people are like ding, 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 ding.
Right.
The algorithm goes, oh my God, and pushes it out to 100 people. And then they get so much response. And if it's a decent thing, which I
Yeah.
think is the important thing, it's got to be something of value.
Right.
And then it gets the proper response and it goes, oh my God, let's send it out to 500,000. And then it goes big and you get that reach.
Right.
But sometimes some of the best stuff doesn't get that initial push. So
Yep.
it never reaches anybody. And
Right.
some of the worst crap gets gamed and then goes out to everybody. And so this is why I think we're constantly kind of getting burned out of looking and going, man, there's so much garbage on here. I don't care. I've blocked so much stuff because I'm just like, this is garbage. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
And
So
I get
true.
some of that's just personal opinion, like whatever. But at the same time, like I might not agree with something that comes over and I go, yeah, but that was still high quality. Like it's still, I see the effort that went into it. I see the position. I see whatever. I don't necessarily agree with it. So I'm not going to engage with it, but it is what it is. Then there's other stuff where I'm like, how did this garbage make it? Denied. I'm going to block it. Like I need to send a signal that says this is garbage.
Yeah.
And so I will intentionally send signals when something is garbage.
Yeah.
But if it's just something I don't agree with, I know better than to engage with it because then I'm just promoting the thing that they're using rage bait or whatever. And I'm like, nope, I'm not going to. I'm going to pass. So I swipe off because that's the signal I want to give it, that I'm immediately swiping away because it is unlookable. Like,
yeah. And there's especially like, I think of like reels, Instagram or TikTok, that slight pause before you swipe makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And so,
yep. Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I'm not, I have accounts. I'm not very active. The times that I get on, especially Instagram, well, Facebook, I'm on Facebook Marketplace a lot, but actually on the social part of Facebook or Instagram or TikTok is literally just when I'm working and I'm uploading things, I'll interact with a couple of things and then I bounce, I'll upload things and then I'll interact with a couple more things and then I bounce.
Yeah.
But a lot of that too is, so much more of what we're doing with like Looky Social is it's all scheduled. We're using, social media management software.
Right.
But for some specific things and ways that we do things, we're not getting around. We're not getting around the manually going through and interacting with certain things. So, but I am interested to see, kind of full circle going back to like A/B split testing, right?
Yep.
It's an exciting time to be alive, even though it's like there are different types of frustrations. I'm excited to see, again, like how quickly we can elevate someone. I think I told you last week, when we kind of turned things around, we turned a corner for one of the clients.
Yep.
It has not slowed down. And it's
okay. I was
really
going to ask
exciting.
if that was still like, if that was just a blip or if that was an indication of a shift.
No, it was an absolute shift. And now we're going in and we started we started split testing Wednesday. So next podcast, I should be able to give you some data on split testing and, because at the end of the day, look, why are we doing this thing? Right? Like we want to help, business owners, entrepreneurs, people that want a side hustle, figure out what the best way, some best practices, little things. It's that, or, just random discussions about AI. But at the end of the day, we're giving some kind of value. And I think that talking through best practices, some mistakes, some things that worked, things that didn't, it will end up, I think, being just really helpful, and as always, like there's the Facebook group, right? The Minding Your Business Facebook group.
Right.
It's an open group. Like, hop in there and ask questions, and we will be as specific as we can. I would love to see just a little more interaction. Well, I think when we first opened it, we were so concerned about it being like shameless self-promotion of the people that would join. Like, someone joins like, hey, this is my thing. Hey, this is my thing, because we've all kind of seen that. I know.
Yes.
It's a little gross. But I don't think we have to.
Sure.
We haven't had that problem.
Okay.
So anyway,
nice.
This, I don't know about you. I need to wrap up. I think you've got something too, but yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else before we take off?
Yeah. No. Yes. No.
Yeah. No. Yes.
Sort of. So
yes.
Basically, just a call out. So if anybody in the audience knows of any of those groups or is interested in starting one or getting together or whatever, that would be mutually beneficial, where we would engage with and comment on their stuff to kind of give each other a boost. Man, I would be interested in seeing or taking a look, because I'm not interested in joining some silly group with bots or some other garbage thing. I really would like genuine engagement from actual real people.
Yeah.
And I could see where that could be beneficial. And I feel like if it is truly benefiting everyone on board, there shouldn't necessarily be a charge. Like, there shouldn't be like, oh no, I'm putting it together, so I'm going to charge everybody. No, then the only person benefiting realistically is that person. I want it to be, basically, I'm looking for an intrinsic motivational group that want to do it for the betterment of themselves and those around them. And that's it.
Yeah. I mean, that sure sounds like the Minding Your Business Facebook group.
It does. And so if that's the thing, jump into the group and let's talk. Like, let's talk about it. Matter of fact, let's make a post and let's talk about that and just see
we should probably do that. Yeah.
Probably should. Anyway, so that we'll put a link to that discussion or that post in the notes. And
one little thing about, and then we'll wrap up. One little thing about, shameless self-promotion. I have been around people that literally there was no shame, always talking about their thing. And I find it a little gross. And so I think I've gone too far the other way, and maybe not on here, because this is a safe space, This isn't, I'm not trying to sell you on the thing that I'm doing. Right.
No, we're just talking about
the thing I'm doing. Yeah. And so, but I was telling my son the other day, like, okay, you really need to go out there and just promote your thing, roast of the week, right? Because if you don't, no one else will. Like,
right.
Until you get big enough where that word of mouth just starts like organically growing, you have to go out and just shamelessly self-promote. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just,
right.
Don't be gross.
Right.
So there's a balance. I don't, and I think I probably lean to the side of not doing it enough. And I'm trying to do a better job, but that's why I'm encouraging him to do it too. But it's also different, like when it is your thing and you're passionate about it, it's easy to talk about,
Yes.
So anyway, all right, man. Are we good?
We're good.
All right. Well, until next week, mind your business. Hey, thanks for listening to the Minding Your Business podcast. Your hosts are Aaron Gerals and me, CJ Jolliffe. If you want to find out more about us or when we're going live or follow us on socials, just go to our website, mybpodcast.com. And again, thank you so much for listening.